Hello, the game is about to start, and it's me to go first. I have a pretty good rack. Do I have a bingo? Steepen. And I won't play it here because it takes an S. I'll play it here. Steepen for 70. Second rack not quite as good as the first. The U's and the V, pretty awful. How best to get rid of these U's? Una U is good. That actually does play nicely here, but that might not. Doesn't actually. UE does not work, so it would have to be here. But that does create a hotspot for the X. Opponent plays her. Does that change things for my rack? Wonder about an IER ending word. No, I think I will go with uno. Right, revoiced from an R. No R available. Is there a 7? D-voice, I don't think. Parge, nice play by opponent. D-voice. Yes, D-voice is fine. Now I've drawn the X and the K for score, and I'm wondering, a play of Kex would leave a fairly decent 4-letter set. Duplicate A not ideal, but opponent's play of MI gives me a great spot for Kex. Is there definitely no playable bingo? Not that I can see. So Kex for 51. Announce, no. What about a UN word? No, not seeing anything. Opponent plays AW. Now, I was thinking of Aquanaut, not quite. And I have the non-prefix, but ideally I want to get rid of UN and A. Maybe Anoa. Ear takes a V and an S. What about a Noah here for 16? Not a bad rack leave. The UN has some synergy. I'm going with this. Wow, that's pretty fortunate. I've drawn the second blank. And bluing. Bulking. And AG is good, so that would play underneath a Noah. What about a bingo ending in an O? Not seeing it now. Mib is good and bulking, so the bingo should come down one way or another. But the best spot would be in row 13. Now the only better bingo would be one ending in a B. Can you unclimb something? I don't think you can. Opponent plays Joe. Unclimb. I think I'll go with bulking for 67. Not a bad rack, this one. Refrain, nice bingo by opponent. David for 35. Or is there a VR play? No, not that I can see. Merv is good. Deviate onto an E. I think I will go with David for 35. Now there are 3 S's to come, so good bingo lane in column O and row 15. Bowie and Ide. Clumsy, nice play by opponent. 52. I do have Brow and Wren, but Brow will score best for 36. Anything better on offer? Wow, I didn't contemplate J2. Bok and Wok are both good, but is there a W play? No. What about Bowie for 47? And I've drawn the H and the Y for score. And pretty decent synergy there. Ethnicity through a C and an I, that's not going to happen. Looking at a THR play. Opponent plays Dodd in the top right. I don't see a THR play. My Y plays under the K. But not much happening there. There's no IY plays that I can see. Tie-in is good, but that would be TIYIN. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Now, I've still got the... What about a TY play? Tire... No, not looking good. And id takes an E, so I've got thine. Thine. Actually, I've got a high here for 40, but look at the Z hotspot, not a chance. Can't do that. So I think I'll go with thine. For 28. I do draw the Z, and scanning the board for Z hotspots. I have zit through the I, that would undouble the T's. What else can I do with the Z? Ted takes a Y, but that's where the story ends. I have yachts. This would give opponent a nice Z play, either from 15A across or from the Z to this triple word. But it is a decent score, and I'm not seeing much better on the board. No front hooks for pup. The S's are not as useful on this board as they might be on another board. Opponent plays Chi on the left. And I think I'll go ahead and play Yachts. Wow, imagine a 9-timer through the Z. I'll take the risk. Galoots with an L, but not with an R. if opponent doesn't take the Z, do I have a play? Zoot doesn't take an S, I don't think. Zooty is good, but not Zoots. Okay, opponent scores well with the F, frizz. And now there's one tile in the bag. I don't think there's a bingo here. Tangelos through an N. Now let's have a look at what I can do with this rack. I don't think a bingo will be coming down. I have Gi and Gam. And not sure if I can go out with roots. Let's try an out in 2. Podge. Does Podge take an S? Sparge. Well, I'm not going to be opening up the board. Goorish. I think Goorish might be good. Frizz takes an E, so yeah, not sure what to do here. Well, let's check Sparge. Even if opponent bingos, I don't think it'll be enough. Yeah, Sparge is good. Now, opponent has an A to play through, or a G. Wow. Does the A help opponent? Catalogs from a C, but I'm not seeing anything with this A. Now, what to do with the remaining 3? Lawyer, that would be a 10-point outplay. Any advance on 10? Oral would be 8. Gelato, opponent plays gelato. And I think lawyer looks fine for 10. There might be something better, but I'm not seeing it. Well, I could play just LO here. That's 18. But then opponent gets score with his tiles, so I guess it's better to just go out. Lawyer for 10. And that's the end of the game. So $4.99 to me, $3.31 to opponent. Thank my opponent for the game. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning. So N steep would have been a slightly better play, extra 4 points. and not dangerous either because, well, I suppose it takes an ing, end steeping. I assume it does. It sounds like it might. Anyway, happy with the bingo I played. Her for 23, that was best for opponent. Then the 2 U's and the V. Now Uve. Okay, well that exposes the trip lane, so I'm not crazy about that play. Uno. Yeah, still happy with Uno. Then opponent comes down with Page. That was the highest score. Nice overlap by opponent. D-voice for 80, but wow, it played in a different spot. Paged. I was just so keen to get it down, and I saw the V getting tripled, so I thought, that looks good to me, but it just shows you it's always worth looking around the board before you hit the fire button, because the V actually got doubled here and then the whole word doubled again, so a slight miss there. And then opponent, although having said that, this position of D-voice kept the board very tight, whereas playing it here gave a few floaters for opponent to utilize for bingos, and that's something to factor in as well, I guess. So this is being considered ish, because it's such a strong 6-letter set, but similar equity to opponent's play, so not a big deal there. Kex for 51. I was a bit fortunate to get rid of the tiles I needed to get rid of in a high scoring fashion, so a little fortunate there. Rainwash, that's quite nice. 30 points for opponent. He went with Ore to balance the rack, and Nanua. Well, again, that opens the trip lane, so not crazy about it, but a handy word to know when requiring a vowel dump of AUA. Nanua. I went with Anoa. Now opponent's rack looking a lot better and close to a bingo, but for the J, and Jack being suggested for 30 with a strong 5-letter set. Opponent goes with Joe, and look at this, unlimbered through ERE. Wow, unlimbered. Tricky to spot, even if the blanks were the letters they needed to be. But the other one was nail brush. That's quite nice. 76-point play there. And the other ones were 13C, tubulin, quiblin. Some interesting words. Bullion. And I got bulking down. And then opponent gets refrain for 70. Tavered for 48 as a 4-timer. That's the second high-scoring play, creating the double-double. I went with David, and then Clumsy, nice find by opponent. That was the highest scoring play. And then Bowie for 47. There was no W play. I thought I might have missed a 5-letter play beginning with a W, but Bowie was best. And then Ordered, there's another 4-timer on offer. Opponent goes with Dodd in the top right, And they, of course, everyday word. So that's a shame to have missed that one. I played thine. And then opponents got the Q, 26 on offer. And that might have been a good play because I don't think there were any eyes left apart from the one on opponent's rack, looking at the remaining pool. So although I could have potentially blocked it, I might have, sacrificed score. So that's 26. Opponent goes with Chi up there. And then the Z Yats was the highest scoring play by quite a margin. And then opponents got Frizz for 48, Fries for 51. But I guess he wanted to hang on to the Val just to maximize the chances of a last minute bingo, although I just don't know where a bingo would have played. Maybe through ERE, a fancy 10-letter play. And actually, just going back, Filterer for 44, leaving open the 9-timer possibility. You never know. But there were only 4 in the bag, so I don't think that would have been the play. Goatish for 22 was top. I went with Goats for 23. And opponent very close here to a bingo. No bingo playable. And he goes with Gelato and then Lawyer for 10. So that was the end of the game. Few bingos played. I seem to have a slightly better run of the tiles that game, I'd say. But I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.